I just quickly wanted to share another dream that I had last night, and this one was pretty profound. I mean, I felt the presence of God really strong in my sleep, and then right after that moment, I had this to the point dream, and I can say it was for sure for me personally. It's a bit vulnerable, but I think that it could be an encouragement to other people going through something similar. So yeah, I just want to share it. And basically it started when I went into some sort of a store to look for a job, and there were other people there applying for a job, and there was this employer. It was an older, wise lady, and she had told me that there's a job opening for a delivery driver. So the lady asked me, what is your job experience? So I went through the list and I just told her about my job as a truck driver. I made sure to say it was a big truck that I drove in the past. It was for Perfect Home Furniture, and then I also drove for FedEx, and I felt really good about that. And then when I had finished sharing my job experience, I thought, I'm a great candidate for this job. She had looked to the people in the room and including me, and she had not necessarily heard the words I was saying. She had heard my heart and the things that I was speaking from. And she had said to everyone, this person here has been very, very hurt, has been very, very broken in his life, gone through many, many traumas. And then she stopped there, and I thought, wow, that is not what I expected to hear. But then she turned and kind of smiled, and she said, but these are the people I love working with, because these people, because they have been so hurt and broken by this world, that they get a new spirit, a new heart completely, because they don't have very much to lean on or go back to because of that brokenness. And therefore, God would give them a completely new spirit, a completely new heart. At first, I did not know what to think of that. Do I feel good or bad about that? But I woke up and then, I'm thinking about that. And that's kind of the whole Psalm 51, where David told God that all I can offer him is a broken and contrite spirit. And so I just wanted to share that. I think that's an encouraging word for other people who might think that they have messed up in their past and they've been hurt. A lot of people come from difficult backgrounds and some serious traumas. And it's easy to look at those the way the enemy would want us to look at those and be traumatized and have some shame, have some guilt about those things. But it's true that God would use our mess to make a message for others. There's no shame, there's no condemnation for those who are in Jesus Christ. We might view, and the world might view, our brokenness as some sort of failure, or we don't contribute very well to this world system, people who are hurt and broken. But God, that is what he's looking for, is those people that have been broken, they turn to him. Therefore, just like I think it says in Ezekiel, he'll give a new heart. And then in Corinthians, it talks about a new creation. And, it's true, we would need to be completely broken and rid of ourselves, which, I can say I've gone through some serious brokenness, especially in this last year. It's been a really tough year, but then it's an encouragement that God says, I see that you're not alone, and I'm using that brokenness for my kingdom's purposes, and to just rest in the fact, we might not be accepted in this world, but, in God's world, we are accepted, we're loved, and we're being used, and one day it'll all make sense, what all this whole thing about this life was all about and the brokenness that we go through. I'm sure it's a lot deeper and richer and impacting than we could ever imagine. So I just want to share those words. I hope that's an encouragement, and I hope you're having a great day. Okay, take care. God bless.